There is a very strange stranger in our oceans that shouldn't be there, defying the laws of evolution. A stranger that rewrites every rule we thought we understood about intelligence, consciousness, and life itself from scratch. It has 3 hearts pumping the cold blue of copper through its veins instead of iron. Its brain is wrapped around its throat. It could die from a single wrong swallow. This stranger can see without eyes, think without needing a central mind, and become invisible before you can even blink. If this creature had arrived on a meteorite instead of evolving in our seas, we would have no doubt. We are not alone in the universe. But here is the shattering truth. We are alone with them. We share the same planet and the same water, but we have no idea what they actually are. 500 million years ago, gliding through primordial mud, octopuses were always here. They were always thinking, and they were always perfect. They are the last remnants of an alien experiment on consciousness, an experiment that took a path so radically different from ours that when we look into their eyes, we are staring across an evolutionary abyss even wider than the void between the stars. Today, we descend into their world. We will witness abilities that ignore and violate the laws of biology. We will see intelligence bloom in such a strange form that it will force us to question what intelligence even means. And we will uncover a tragedy so deep that it will change your perspective on sacrifice, motherhood, and the brutal mathematics of survival. This is not a nature documentary. This is a message from the other side of consciousness. A message from the aliens that have been here since the very beginning. Come, let's meet them. Look at their movements. Boneless, formless. A creature built of contradictions. While every animal we know is built upon a rigid skeleton, the octopus is built upon absence. They have no bones, no skeleton. They are nothing but muscle and mind wrapped in skin. They can glide and pass comfortably through any opening larger than their beak. Their beak, a razor-sharp mouth hidden at the very center of their arms, the only hard part of their entire body. Yet the true horror and the true miracle is what pumps beneath their skin. They have not 1, but 3 hearts. 2 pump blood to the gills, oxygenating the creature under the crushing pressure of the depths. The 3rd heart pumps blood to the rest of the body. But this is where biology turns into science fiction. An octopus's blood is not red, but blue, because octopus blood uses copper instead of iron to carry oxygen, a hemocyanin molecule that turns their life force into the color of an alien sky. And there is a price for carrying this blue blood. It works perfectly in cold water. But heat is death. As ocean waters warm, octopuses drown in water that is too hot to sustain their copper-based chemistry. They are naively adapted to a dying world, and unfortunately, climate change is their apocalypse. Yet at the center of all this strangeness sits the most grotesque anomaly: their brain. A brain shaped like a donut. It sits wrapped around its throat. Everything it eats passes through the very center of its consciousness. If it swallows something too large, it causes brain damage. Evolution has designed a creature that must literally think very carefully about everything it eats. However, calling this a brain is not quite accurate, because octopuses do not think like we do. They do not think from a single center. They think from everywhere. 2/3 of an octopus's 500 million neurons are not located in its head. They are in its arms. Each arm is semi-autonomous, a thinking limb with its own nervous system, its own ganglion, and its own agenda. An arm does not wait for approval from the brain. It explores, it decides, and it acts, all on its own. Sometimes these creatures intentionally tear off and leave their own arms behind while escaping from enemies. They do this to distract their foe and flee, but the severed arm still tries to feed a mouth that no longer exists. It reaches out, it grasps. Even in death, it performs the ritual of survival. This is not a natural reflex. This is a decentralized consciousness that refuses to die. Now we come to their most seemingly impossible ability. The ability that makes you question what you see, even everything you have ever seen. In 1/5 of a second, faster than our brains can even perceive movement, an octopus can transform itself into anything. Not just color or texture. Smooth skin turns into spikes, ridges, and valleys, flawlessly mimicking coral, rock, sand, or seaweed. A 3-dimensional perfect camouflage so precise it can fool even the predators that have hunted them for millions of years. But here's the thing that truly shouldn't be possible. Octopuses are colorblind. Octopuses see what they look at in shades of black, white, and gray. So how? How do they blend in with colors they cannot even see? The answer is so alien that it seems almost unreal. Their skin can see. Proteins called opsins, the very same light-sensitive molecules found in your retina, are embedded throughout the octopus's skin. They bypass the brain entirely. The skin perceives light, compares it to its surroundings, and independently adjusts color and texture. It's almost like a joke. Their skin thinks, their arms think. Where does the octopus end and the environment begin? They are a creature that dissolves the walls between the self and the world, a living Rorschach test that reflects whatever reality requires. And some species have taken this to terrifying extremes. The mimic octopus, the master illusionist of the depths. This species does not just camouflage itself, it assumes other identities. Lionfish, sea snakes, flatfish, jellyfish. It studies its enemies, takes on their shapes, and transforms into them. The body glides with the exact swimming motion of the fish it is imitating. To call this mere mimicry would be an understatement. This is method acting at a cellular level. It is a change of identity so flawless that predators flee from what they perceive as danger, never realizing they have been fooled by a disguised, soft-bodied genius. And then we have the coconut octopus. It is like an engineer, a forward-thinking strategist. They collect unused objects and discarded coconut shells, carrying them across the ocean floor. Why? Because when they sense danger, they assemble these pieces and lock themselves inside, creating a secure fortress. This is tool use. This is preparing for the future. This is an invertebrate displaying a foresight that most mammals unfortunately fail to achieve. And finally, the blue-ringed octopus. It is tiny in size, adorned with brilliant blue rings that glow perfectly against its golden skin. Beautifully decorated, isn't it? But those rings are not ornaments. They are a threat, a warning. This octopus carries enough venom to kill 26 humans within minutes. Tetrodotoxin, the same poison found in pufferfish, injected through a bite so faint it's barely noticed. Paralysis spreads through your entire body. Your lungs stop, your heart slows. But your mind remains awake, locked inside a disobedient body, aware of everything, conscious and dying. There is no anti-venom for this poison. You simply wait for someone to breathe for you manually until the toxin passes. Beauty and death intertwined in 8 arms within the same creature. If you see a blue-ringed octopus, do not be fooled by its beauty. Do not pick it up. Now we come to perhaps the most curious question. Do octopuses dream? Since they have no eyelids, octopuses sleep with their eyes open. While they sleep, their skin comes alive with movement. Patterns flow across their bodies as if memories are being replayed in real time. Browns, whites, and sudden bursts of texture. Scientists believe this is the octopus's distributed brain processing the day. It is uploading experiences. It is consolidating memory across 8 limbs, each reviewing its own archive. Perhaps in its dreams, it is reliving a hunt. Perhaps it sees the ghost of a camouflage used hours ago. What does a creature with 9 brains dream of? Does each arm dream individually? Does each limb see its own memories of texture, taste, and movement? Or does a unified experience emerge from this distributed storm of neurons? We don't know. Perhaps we will never know the answer. We are trying to understand a form of consciousness so alien that even asking the question might be absurd. But we do know this. They experience a state similar to REM sleep. Something akin to that border state between wakefulness and unconsciousness, where humans process trauma, fear, memory, and meaning. We are not the only dreamers in the sea. And this changes everything. But every story of wonder contains a tragedy. The tragedy of the octopus is written in perhaps the cruelest code biology has ever designed. After mating, something happens inside the female octopus. An optic gland behind her eyes begins to secrete hormones, a kind of chemical death warrant. The female stops hunting, she stops eating. Her body begins to consume itself. Every ounce of her energy has a single purpose: the eggs. For months, she tends to her eggs. She caresses them with her arms to ensure water circulation. She blows currents over them to deliver oxygen. She clears debris. She keeps predators away. She never leaves to eat, to to rest or for anything else. And molecule by molecule, her heartbeat fades. She turns into a ghost in service of the future. Her skin, once a miracle of adaptive camouflage, turns white and begins to peel. Those magnificent 8 thinking limbs that once solved puzzles, opened jars, and hunted, now struggle even to move. Her 3 hearts labor within a body consuming itself from the inside out. And yet, she stays, protecting, caring, caressing those eggs with arms that can barely feel anymore. And then the day arrives. The eggs hatch. Thousands of impossibly fragile, translucent babies, a sight rarely seen, now drift out into the ocean. But unfortunately, most will die within hours. They will be eaten. They will starve or get lost. The survival rate is incredibly low. Out of thousands, only a few will survive. They will grow to be the next generation of magnificent thinking arms, distributed consciousness, and living camouflage. And the mother? The mother will never see her offspring swim away. Because when the first egg hatches, the mother is already nearing death. By the time the last baby is swept away by the current, the mother is gone. Female octopuses give every fiber of their being to children they will never know, to a future they will never be a part of, and to a future they will never see. It is like a bargain the octopus made with evolution, genius in exchange for a short life. Most small and medium-sized octopuses live for only 1 to 2 years. Some species, only 6 months. Only the giant Pacific octopus, one of the larger species, lives for 3 to 5 years. They are born, they learn at a speed that astounds researchers. They mate, and finally, they die. We do not yet know why evolution designed it this way, why it gave such extraordinary, brilliant intelligence to a creature deprived of the time to fully utilize it. We do not know why it built a brain capable of solving problems, recognizing faces, and feeling curiosity, only to destroy it with an unstoppable chemical timer. But perhaps that is the whole point. Perhaps consciousness, in that alien form, does not need decades to be significant or to leave a mark. Perhaps a single year spent thinking, exploring, adapting, and existing is enough. Perhaps it is we who are so obsessed with time. The octopus is a message sent to us, not from the universe or the stars, but from the sea. It tells us that consciousness can evolve in ways so strange, so different from our own. And yet, sadly, after sharing the same world for millions of years, we are only just beginning to understand one another. It tells us that intelligence does not actually require bone, centralized thought, or a seeing eye. And most importantly, it tells us that we are not alone in our feelings of curiosity, problem-solving, and emotion. That in some corner of the darkness, in those depths where we can barely survive, there are beings thinking thoughts we cannot even imagine, living lives we struggle to grasp, sacrificing everything without hesitation for futures they will never see. They have been here from the very beginning, waiting in the deep. They were thinking in ways we have only just begun to decode, but the most important and shattering question is not in fact whether they are intelligent. It is what they think of us.